So my brain clock is responsible for my jet lag? Wait a minute. If I have a brain clock, then why am I always late? Hi, my name is Ellie. I am a medical student in Montreal, Canada. In this series, I share my knowledge about the human body and strategies on how to live healthier and happier. Today is about the brain clock, aka the circadian clock. First, circadian comes from Latin, circa and diem, which means about a day. So how come we have one? Well, we have been out there for millions of years without electricity, and we have lived under conditions of day and night. Because of that, our brains have evolved to have a circadian clock. In reality, some of us have a shorter clock and some of us a longer one, but essentially they're always about 24 hours, hence the name. So this clock will tell our bodies what to do and when to do it depending on the time of the day. And that's what we call a circadian cycle. Those circadian rhythms can be physical, mental, or even behavior. And this helps to anticipate and to adapt to changes in the environment, such as changes in light, temperature, and food availability. What's important is that circadian clocks and rhythms help us to optimize our energy. And back in the day, this was essential for our survival. So let's understand our brain clock a bit better. It is situated in the hypothalamus, and this internal clock functions in an independent manner. What does it mean? If you're put in a room with no light and no external cue on what time of the day it is still going to operate in about 24 hours and tell you when to eat, sleep, and mate. So if you usually wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, you will still wake up at 7 a.m. This is what happens when you're jet lagged. When you're in a new time zone, you want to stay awake, but you can't, or you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't fall back asleep. This is your circadian clock telling you what to do. But wait a minute. After a couple of days, the jet lag gets easier, right? So what happens then? Your brain clock synchronizes with the environmental signals. So when you're jet lagged, your brain is basically not synchronized with the environment. But how do you synchronize it? It is through sunlight. And this is the number one signal. There are other factors which can have an influence on our circadian cycle, such as the temperature, meal times, stress and exercise, but that's for another time. So in the morning, when you wake up and you see light, it is captured through your retina, the back of your eye, and it travels to your hypothalamus, specifically in the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a cluster of about 20,000 neurons. These neurons are the master clock. They are the control center operating your whole body on a 24-hour basis. In fact, each of our cells has its own circadian cycle, but the master clock in our brain coordinates them all. So we have lived for millions of years under day and night conditions. Thus, we have developed our own internal clock, which synchronizes with daylight and commands the functioning of our body. It is that clock which is responsible for our jet lags. If you want to learn more why our circadian rhythms are essential for our health, you will like the next video. Thank you for watching. If you like this, consider subscribing or hit the thumbs up button. Ciao!